lips, same joke, same face. Yeah, I'm over it. New tab, new flame, new show, new name. We don't play the same lane, we don't shake the same frame. One night it's cold cases, next night main pages. Headline heat, biggest waves without deep. Hit replay every week, new crew talking, new chair, new host walking. Spin the wheel of what's trending, say the thing they all defending, but this is no safe tape. Uncensored conversation, unfiltered, unapologetic. We ask every question, true crime, pop culture. What's breaking while you wait? Take a break from the boring. Come get lost in no safe takes, no safe takes, no safe takes. Take a break from the boring. Come get loud with no safe takes.
Hello, welcome to No Safe Takes.
Hello.
Oh, shit. Can you guys hear my thunder? It is storming bad here, so if my power goes out, thankfully none you can continue the stream, but just a heads up. As soon as I said welcome to No Safe Takes, this big clasp of thunder happened. Anyway,
I
welcome
mean,
in.
just saying, maybe the
Welcome in.
cloud is talking.
I guess maybe so. Before we get started with our topics tonight, we did I think in our teaser video yesterday we said we were going to be discussing the war, Operation Epic Fury, but I decided not to. My heart can't handle it right now, so I'm going to stay away from that for just a bit longer. But we do want to have like a moment of silence for our 6 fallen airmen, soldiers that we have lost so far, and for others, civilians, others that have lost their lives. So if you guys just want to take a moment. But our hearts go out to all of those that are touched by Operation Epic Fury right now, and all of those that are deployed, whether voluntary or involuntary, and all of those that are doing their job. I don't know how else to word it. I want to try to be PC since we're not having it as a topic for discussion tonight, but yeah, just keep them in mind. I know for me, this is kind of a nice little break to come here and talk about something else because I have been glued to all things Iran for a week and a half now, and I can't stop watching it. I can't stop taking it in and wondering and praying and all that. So anyway, and our hearts go out to the families that are home worried about their loved ones fighting. So
Amen.
that's it. So tonight we're going to talk about controversies. We're going to talk about family vloggers. We're going to talk about, what else was it, girls? Privacy of public figures.
Yep.
All sorts of crazy things. So let's
You
get
have
right
the
into it.
thumbs up.
I'm up first, right?
It does the thumbs up when you do it. Your screen. I
Does it?
swear it just did.
It did just do it. I wondered how she did that.
Yeah,
It's
I
my
wasn't
MacBook.
sure.
I have a MacBook.
Like it looked good.
Right? I don't know. Maybe sometimes it picks it up and sometimes it. Holy shit! Sorry, you guys cannot
I
hear
heard
this
that.
thunder.
No, I didn't hear it.
You heard
I
it?
heard that. I
Oh,
did.
God.
It's probably my
It's loud.
headphones. So.
It's so freaking loud. Okay, so if I just randomly scream, it's just the thunder, or at least it's not bombs, right? Okay.
Yep.
Whew. That was loud.
So I'll go real quick and just give a shout out
Yes, go
to
ahead.
what we're going to be doing moving forward is giving a shout out each stream to our replay crew. Those are those of you who weren't able to make the live stream, or those of you who only made the live stream for a little bit and came back to rewatch and finish it out. We appreciate that. This channel is not monetized, so getting in the algorithm is something that we are working on doing. Without that monetization, oh no.
Am
I still here?
And the lightning strikes. That's how I feel right now in your background.
Mm-hmm.
Am I still here? Did I?
You're here.
You're
my
here.
power went out, and then it came back on.
Yeah.
But I forgot our internet is hooked up to the generator, so it kicks on immediately. Oh, that was great! Look, there it is.
There's your thumbs up.
There's the thumbs up.
Thumbs up to the storm.
Mhm.
Sorry, I did not mean to interrupt you,
Anyways,
Nadia.
it's all good. It's all good. Anyway, so shout out to the replay crew from our last live stream. So I'm going to say a few names real quick, and I'll try and get through them as quickly as I can so we can get into the topics. KM Chats Kendra, That's So Crystal Bible Addiction, SEK, Lace with Lacey, Jennifer P, Laura H. Owens, Tickety Boo, Spudler, Toe Beans, No Madness, Jeffrey B. Me, Chasing, Headstones and Headlines, JP, True Seeker Jacqueline, Unstoppable JoJo, I think that's Sparker 77, Sarah K, East Coast Life, Hell 7072, Birdie Bath 48, Jasmina D, Catering Winch, Grandma Sherry, Where's the Beat, Joy Carter, Denise Pie, and Mystery Chick. And last but not least, Shambles. So shout out to all of you for rhythm and giving
Shout
us
out.
that comment and that engagement. We appreciate you. The way that you can help us in this live stream right now is to hit the like. We are working to get to 300 likes tonight. If this live stream gets to 300 likes, the mods are going to keep an eye out for it. And so all of that. And if it is, then we have a little teaser video, a little funny teaser video about one of the hosts that we will play if we get to that mark.
Oh,
All right.
Joey.
Yes.
I saw what y'all were up to, by the way, and that don't look nothing like me. Just saying.
It
Okay.
is actually yours is
pretty
pretty
accurate.
spot on.
It is pretty
No.
for
Mhm.
sure.
No.
Yeah.
We'll let
But don't
we'll let
ruin
the
it.
people decide. All right, so I'm up first. Mine's gonna be kind of
Wait.
short, which is probably a good thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Play the warning and then we can start.
Oh yeah, thank you. We're
Yeah.
still getting all the bugs worked out.
We have to give our disclaimers because we don't want anybody thinking we're professionals here.
Yep.
No.
Everything you hear is a personal opinion of whoever is talking at the moment. Their takes are theirs and theirs alone. Nobody else on the panel is responsible for what comes out of someone else's mouth. We don't share brains, group chats, or legal teams. You may get offended at some point. Please accept our apology now because we will not be issuing individual apologies later. We are not customer support. Nothing you hear on this show is medical advice, psychological advice, legal advice, financial advice, spiritual advice, or advice from anyone who knows what they're doing. If you need real help, please consult a doctor, therapist, lawyer, accountant, pastor, mechanic, or literally any adult with certifications. Not us, never us. Not every topic is for you, and that's okay. Take what you like, leave the rest for someone else. The internet has plenty of other mess for you to enjoy. We encourage adult conversations and respectful discourse in the chat. Debate ideas, disagree respectfully, but don't attack people just because their opinion activated your villain origin story. Also, YouTube gave you a block button for a reason. Use it. It's cheaper than therapy. All right, now that the legal stuff is out of the way, let's get into these unsafe takes.
How cute was that? I'm back
So
here
cute.
making faces because of my thunder. They're laughing at me. There it is again. I don't know if you guys can see the lightning. I got a window, like the blind open, so I don't know if it's bright enough in here. But we're going to get into my topic first, which I'm glad in case I do lose power or I don't know, this storm just wipes us out completely. This is strong. I wonder if we're under a tornado warning. I don't know. But I had something I wanted to remind the chat and I just forgot. Oh, we all do come from a certain sector, have been engaged in that sector. I just want to quickly remind you all, this isn't that. And so any comments, if you come in and you bring a comment about something connected to that, the comment will be removed. You won't be blocked. You won't be timed out unless it becomes too much, but the comment will be removed. We want to stay on topic. So please engage in the topics we bring because maybe there's something you've heard before. Maybe it's something you have an opinion on. We want to hear it. So I just wanted to share that real quickly. All right, let's get started. So first up, I am going to bring to you all the Frida Baby controversy. Put a 1 in chat if you've ever even heard of Frida Baby or Frida Mom.
Yes,
And
one
Jake's
for
putting her
me.
one.
Yeah.
So a lot of people
I've heard of
have.
the brand.
Right.
Sorry.
Some haven't. like, it wasn't around when I had babies. I don't think it was around even when Nanya had babies. Or you, MJ, did you have it?
I heard of the Frida Baby. I don't
Yeah.
remember if I had anything from Frida Baby, but I remember it.
Mhm. So I
Almost
learned about
in
it
chat.
when we fostered a baby in 2018, and their nose sucker is the best thing ever. I'm sorry, it just is. Like nothing. If you know anything about trying to get snot out of a baby's nose, it is the hardest thing ever to do. But that nose sucker was a game changer, and I hear it works pretty good on pets too. Like if your dog has a
Mhm.
stuffed up nose and whatnot. And it has like, multiple filters in that long ass tube. So none of the snot comes near you. It's great. But lately, they've been under fire for their marketing. So I'm going to go through this article and then play a couple short clips just to talk about it for a hot minute. I don't know. Oh, what did that do?
While
Hang
you
on a
do that,
second. Yeah, go ahead.
that's okay. While you do that, I was
Mhm.
going to let you know most of the chat has heard of Frida Baby,
Oh,
and a
good.
couple heard of it but never used any of the products from it.
Okay.
I'm sure if you saw the brand, you'd be like, "Oh, I've seen that before."
Yeah. I'm sorry about the ads. I hate ads on USA Today, but anyway, it was the easiest little thingy. Okay, a popular brand that sells postpartum and baby care products is being criticized online for some of its marketing tactics after Instagram campaign posted 5 years ago resurfaced. So the campaign that they posted 5 years ago kind of came back up and now people are getting really worked up about it. Now the company says it's retiring some assets. Customers began taking to social media on Friday to boycott Frida products, pointing to sexual innuendos on some of the company's packaging and advertising. There's a time and place for adult humor, and baby products ain't it, content creator Chrissy Horton said in a video. The post generated thousands of responses and hundreds of comments. So here's one of their products. It's called Windy the Gas Passer. Now, this little device here was a godsend for Crew. Crew had colic and he had really bad acid reflux and gas. This is a little device that it's as weird as it sounds. You stick it up their bum and it helps them to pass the gas. And it has like, safety checks so it can't go too far or anything. The top of it, the top of this box, if I remember correctly, I don't know if it says what it says here. It says something about like just the tip or something like that. So that's just one of the controversies is something. I'll get to that in a minute.
Oh God.
Yeah. So from the very beginning, Frida has used humor to talk about the real, raw, and messy parts of parenting that too often go unspoken. Frida said in a statement emailed to USA Today on February 23rd. We do this because parenting can be isolating and overwhelming, and sometimes a moment of levity is what makes a hard experience feel human, shared, and survivable. So then they go on to talk about retiring some of their products and changing its tone to make sure it always meets the moment and stuff like that. And I'll read what they put out in a minute. So here's some of the packaging. Screenshots of 2020 and 2021 posts from Frida's official Instagram page have resurfaced on social media, igniting conversation about the appropriateness of marketing tactics. Though newer posts don't appear to contain sexual innuendos, older posts did. Internet sleuths have also been digging up the post and leaving fresh comments. So in 2020, a post with a photo of a baby with sweat on its forehead with the caption, "Getting all hot and sweaty, thinking about what's dropping tomorrow." A 2020 post advertising filters for the brand's nasal aspirator with the caption, "And remember, suck, don't swallow." Please don't Google that. Another post from 21 in which Frida announced
Gosh.
a new baby product with the caption, "Hey mom, what is nightstand top drawer worthy, battery operated, and comes in clutch with things are hot and steamy when things are hot and steamy." That was for their new baby sucker that was automatic. A
What?
video
Mhm.
a
I'm
video
sorry.
in
Hold on.
2021 posted how the nasal aspirator works on an infant with the caption, "Pull out game strong." Go ahead.
I was just gonna say thank you to the jerks. They've come on over, and their people are coming over as well. So
Nice.
and we appreciate that. But really, like, I just want to know what creep is running marketing that thought, hey guys, that's funny.
Someone with a dark sense of humor or a sense of humor in general? I don't know. Listen, this is where I think it's gonna where we're all gonna have a little different take on it. Are babies reading these products?
No, kids probably aren't even
There
in
goes
that.
my power.
Oh no.
So the babies aren't reading these products. So who are they being marketed to? They're being marketed to
The
adults to buy them.
Adults.
No, that's what I'm saying, Remy. There wasn't a big deal when these products were initially came out and aired. So why the push now?
Why now?
And I think MJ hit the nail on the head when we
Mhm.
talked about this privately before I even decided to bring it up here. It's because of I think it's because of the Epstein files and
Yeah.
all the sick stuff that's coming out in the media today.
I think people are becoming more aware of it. And there was
Mhm.
even a worse, there was one for a rectal thermometer. And it said,
Yeah.
this is the closest your husband will get to a threesome. Highly inappropriate. Highly, highly, highly
Oh my
inappropriate.
God.
And then there was even advertisement of a baby with white substance on its face, you know, so not a good advertising route, in my opinion. But yeah, I think people are becoming more hyper aware of it. And, you know, it's easier to not come to terms, in my opinion, like for a lot of people, it's easier to pretend that all of this stuff isn't happening around us, you know, because it's really dark, it's really upsetting. But I think the Epstein files kind of pushed that out there more into the public light, and people are now becoming aware of it.
Right. Here is their statement. This is Frida Baby's official statement. Parenthood can feel like a standing ovation and a reckoning in the same breath. 1 minute you're awash in awe, and the next you're replaying a reaction you wish you could take back. You feel like a superhero and an amateur in the span of an afternoon. That tension doesn't mean you're failing, it means you care. And as any parent knows, when you realize you've missed the mark, you don't just move on, you course correct. You commit to doing better. We're holding ourselves to that same standard. This past week reminds us that intention matters, but impact matters more. When we miss the mark, we don't turn away. We listen, we learn, and we evolve. We are actively retiring select legacy assets and refining our tone moving forward to make sure it always meets the moment. We will always be bold enough to tell the truth about what parenting really looks like, but we are also humble enough to know when we are growing right alongside you. So, they came out and they said, yeah, we get it. Our marketing it wasn't good. And so we're going to change the tone, but it's a product. Listen, they make products that work. They make products that are much needed. They talk about topics that other baby brands aren't willing to talk about. Like, you know, they were one of the pioneers in talking about lactation and pushing, you know, that it's fine to breastfeed and this, well, not that it's fine, you know what I mean? Like they're pushing that is not a taboo topic, and it's okay to talk about the fact that you know, your breasts hurt or you might need this heat sensor vibrator thing to break up the clots and stuff like that. So they're willing to confront those. They make products for women postpartum and prepartum that a lot of other brands won't touch at all. So I think that's important. But do I think that their marketing team needs to get on track? Absolutely.
So can you tell me, I have questions, of course, per the usual.
Mm-hmm.
So number one, that's the only statement that they made was about how, oh, when you're a parent, you make mistakes and sometimes you get it wrong, and looks like we got it wrong too.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. My other question is when was the last time, like when is the most recent ad that they ran that was like this?
Well, their packaging still says it. So in some of the stuff that I was gonna play, like here's just a little clip.
Seen on TikTok things about Frida Baby, and I didn't know if it was real or not. I'm at Target. It's real. That's insane.
So their packaging still has some of these quotes on it, like "How about a quickie?" Now, do I think "How about a quickie" is horrible? No, I don't think it's near as bad as the, you know, the closest your husband will get to a threesome. But
oopsie marketing error.
So.
This was boardrooms. This had to go through people. I'm horrified.
Post for a record. Caption read, "This is the closest your husband's gonna get to a threesome."
Who was the Frida baby ad?
So,
I don't think marketing goes through the board to be approved.
Definitely no, it doesn't.
Marketing, maybe a vice president of marketing, but it definitely doesn't go through a whole board to be approved. A marketing campaign will not. Packaging as well. So I disagree with that part, but I don't know.
It was definitely seen, Nunya, right? Like whether it was a board or not, it was definitely seen by numerous people that I'm sure before it ever got posted publicly. Or
it wasn't just one guy's choice to post it. It was definitely
it was seen, but it was like seen over in this little marketing area of the business. And I wouldn't be surprised if there were not some complaints that came in back when the products came out and people were buying them back then. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't get some complaints and ignore them because
they probably got complaints, but I don't think it was to the degree that it is right now. And again, I think this is swelled up because of the Epstein files. So here is who the head people in charge are. She's going to talk about it for a second.
On Frida Baby's website, they have interestingly now removed it. So according to that now deleted section, Brian Bird is the director of packaging, Adam Gagliardo is the VP of marketing strategy, and Aaron Camillo is the packaging design production manager. Some critics argue that the messaging contributes to the...
So it's a group of men who are in charge of their marketing and their packaging.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
I'm not here to bash men, but I'm not trying to justify it either, but like that speaks volumes to me. It's not, I don't think women would have marketed it that way, but I also agree that I'm sure there were some women along the way that approved this as well, not just those three guys, you know?
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if there weren't some women like, hey guys, I don't think this is going to go over very well like we think it is.
Yeah.
And they got ignored. I mean, and that happens. But I think that sometimes some of these decisions are made by women and they're looking more as a business from a business perspective. Like maybe we can make that tired parent laugh when they see our packaging. Like,
which is what
no foul.
That's what I think about it is they were trying to elicit some type of emotion. I doubt they wanted it to be negative towards children or babies, but that's what they were trying to get from the parent. And I think they went about it completely wrong. But the backlash is what I want to talk about a little bit. So there's like all these people who are like, cancel your Frida baby, throw your products away, burn them, blah, blah, blah. And to me, that is just stupidity. When people were threatening to burn their Nike gear, like, why? You've already bought the items. You've already paid for them. They've already got your money for them. Why are you now going to ruin something that you gave your hard-earned money to when the products are good? They're good products. They serve great purposes. Now, am I saying go out and keep buying them? Maybe not. If that is something that you don't want to do, you don't want to pour money into a company like this, then that's completely understandable. But I think it's kind of silly to now just like throw hundreds of, and when we all know how expensive baby crap is, to just like throw it in the trash or to waste a product that you already have, you know? Thoughts?
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the subliminal messaging that we would see in Disney movies, but just on a much larger, more dramatic scale. Like, I don't know if you guys realize that there was a big old penis on the castle of the Little Mermaid, that they eventually had to change that, and then when you watch those Disney movies back as adults, you don't realize, oh, wow, like I had no idea there were this many references in here. But this seems a little bit more than just, at least for me, we're trying to relate to new parents, and because there's maybe for a few I could justify it like that. There are the other ones that are just straight up inappropriate and should not be intertwined with children whatsoever.
Such as
the
threesome one. Yeah.
The threesome one, and then the image of the what appears to be a white substance on the baby's face. Now, whether it's supposed to be snot,
I haven't seen that one.
Highly inappropriate. Highly inappropriate.
Yeah. I agree.
I wanted to read a few comments from the chat. Remy said, I think I'm going to take a trip to the store to check this out tomorrow. So she wants to see if she can find it in her local store to see if it's still out there. That feels like this is about morals. And sure, but we shouldn't allow a company to feel so comfortable enough to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Which is what I think they're doing now, which is what people's voices are being heard now. The whole like cancel freedom movement on social media is telling them like, hey, we don't stand for this marketing. You better make a change or you're out.
Yeah.
And you have that power with your money.
Sorry. Blue Lazarus said, I think if women buy smut for their babies, there's something off. So that's how they feel about it. Johnson is reminding everybody, welcoming him in, and reminding them to please hit the like button. So for me, I think I feel torn. Number one, I'm not throwing away. If I spent my hard-earned money, I'm not throwing away the product if it's good.
Look, you got a thumbs up.
You got it too.
It's the MacBook. I'm sure of it.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one. Two, I'm really challenged because a lot of times I feel like we look at things with our adult brains at times, and we look at it with the experiences that we've seen, whether it be in the news, in our lives, anything like that, right? So I am somebody who will, if the marketing is good or funny, I will like I'll go buy the product, even if it's inappropriate, so to speak. Now I do agree, MJ, like just the tip, I would have chuckled at that. I'm just gonna be honest. I would have chuckled at that, right?
Right.
Because it still is like you could, it's like that innuendo. It's not exact, but like the closest thing to a threesome your husband will get, too far.
That's too far.
Too far. Especially with the context of the product that they're pushing.
Yes. So I think that's where, like, for me, that's where I'm challenged, because like, I do think that there are some ways that, like, I mean, marketing is meant to grab your attention. And now a lot of people know about Frida Baby that probably never knew about it before this, you know? So I don't know. I'm really torn about it. Honestly, I'm torn. Because as a consumer, I know that, like, I know I bought products that have inappropriate things on the packaging.
Yeah.
But I bought it because I thought that was funny. Like, it just, I don't know. I am that consumer. Tell me what you want. But I do understand, like, the concern with everything that has gone on.
So this is the CEO, and I'm going to play this portion a little bit because this was new information to me. When we were talking about this privately, I don't know Frida Baby so much from the baby side as the mom side. Like, all the products that they make for women postpartum and prepartum are amazing, and they are gross. So like, marketing on those, in my opinion, like, if it was silly like that, would be more acceptable if it was on the Frida mom side, but not the baby side. But when I did some research, it's not on the mom side. It's mainly on the baby products where their gross marketing is. So, but here is the CEO,
which is interesting, right?
Right. It is very interesting. Now, I mean, they have some stuff on the mom side that is a little raunchy, like, because they have fertility, I don't know what they're called. I'd have to look them up, but like, basically help you to get pregnant. So they do make jokes about mom and dad and, like, raunchy night stuff, which is fine
isn't
'cause it's for
inappropriate.
them. Right.
That's
but no, there's nothing like out there crazy geared on the mom side of it. It's more, gross stuff that we don't want to talk about and making light of it. But here's the CEO.
Shorn. Chelsea is a mother of 4, and she transformed this startup from a single product, which was the Snot Sucker, into a brand with over 150 items spanning from baby care, postpartum recovery, and now fertility. However, I'm a little confused by Frida Baby's own video talking about their CEO, specifically when they call her the mother of invention, because she actually developed the Snot Sucker off of an already made product in Sweden. In fact, that Swedish product looks almost identical to the Frida.
It's called Nos Frida.
Oh man.
So all she did was, and it looks exactly
Oh,
the same. So
wow.
she took a Swedish item and gave it an American marketing twist and built a
Oh,
company off of it. This
I
was
didn't
brand new
know this,
information to
Deets.
me. I didn't either.
Wow.
Wow.
Shout out to, I love this channel and I just forgot their name for a second, but Conspiracy.
Yeah, Conspiracy.
I have followed her, like we started our
She's good.
channels at the same time and had a lot. She's a great channel. You guys
Yeah,
follow
she's
her if you
great.
don't. But
Same
look at
colors and everything.
this. Yeah.
Frida Baby Snot Sucker. It's even listed on Frida Baby's own website that the snot sucker was originally invented by a Swedish pediatric ear, nose, and throat doctor. So, mother of invention or mother of knowing who her target audience is and exploiting that? In fact, I want you to take a look at this post from 2024. Chelsea was on Time magazine, where Frida Baby was named 100 of the most influential companies of 2024. Also in this post, they share this excerpt where they write that the Frida Baby Snot Sucker, again, their most popular product, sells a reported 3 million units each year. It also states CEO Chelsea Hershorn sources many ideas from Europe and tweaks them for the American market. This controversy...
But how did she tweak it? It looked exactly, I don't know. So
Yeah, is an overstatement there.
no disrespect to her hustle, but yeah, a lot of it just, she stole it from, and they're not shy about it. They tell you she gets a lot of her ideas.
It's right there on the website.
Right
Yeah,
there on their website. So.
I can respect the fact, like I can respect the fact strictly that they are saying we didn't invent this. We just took their idea and brought it to the Americas.
I wonder if it's like cheaper. Like, I don't know. I'm just kind of curious. I'm gonna look up on Amazon. What was that called? Like Noza Frida?
No, it was
Noza Frida.
Yeah.
It's probably not even on Amazon. No, all this Frida Baby stuff. I mean, there's some generic versions of it, but I don't see that Swedish one that we just saw. But
I think the
anyway,
A
I found
maybe
that
have to have the 2 dots over it.
Yeah. Maybe.
To be found, but
that's it. So that's what I have with the Frida Baby controversy, and I think most people are in agreement that what they're marketing is wrong. And I think what differs is, like, do we cancel them? I don't think you should cancel them. I think that, you should continue them to tell them to do better, especially if you like their product, you're going to use their product, continue to push them to do better marketing in that way. Oh, someone had asked in the chat, I think it was perfectly, if the CEO or anyone was linked to the Epstein files. No, none of them are linked to anything to do with that. I think it's just that, real quick, because we do need to move on to the next segment, but if anybody has watched the new documentary out about the America's Next Top Model stuff with Tyra Banks, and like a lot of the stuff that they did in the 90s, when COVID hit, people went back and watched those episodes and they're like, what? They're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing like drug poses and stuff. I think that the Epstein files have made us more actively aware to pay attention to what's going on. And I think that's what's happened here with Frida. Like, whoa. We're not going to take this. We don't like this. Either change it or you're out type of mentality.
Go ahead, MJ.
No, I was just going to say, and let us know what your thoughts are in the chat, or if you're on the replay, if you're someone who kind of aligns more with, all right, I thought it was more of an innocent mistake. Are you someone that's like, I would throw out all products right now? Are you someone that, all right, I don't like it, I won't buy future products, but I'm not going to get rid of it? Because I want to know everyone's thoughts.
Well, JP says they can correct it. What I used from them was a good product. I'm not a boycotter. Nope, not today. Says they were awful to. Oh, wait. I don't know. That might be something different. I've seen some people though commenting in here like, nope, there's no gray area for this on this for me. I'm done with them. I think that's fine too.
Wow.
Do they want to sell product and grow, or be shock jocks using baby garments in a sexual context? Blue, that's a great point.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that either. Yeah, I think that they can absolutely come back. I just am curious of, like, it seems like and I know we won't go too far into it because it's probably a conversation for another day, but like cancel culture is a whole conversation to have.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, does it allow for grace would be one of my questions. And then the other one would be like, it's like we go from like outrage to straight cancel culture. Like we cannot find any middle ground, which
Yeah.
doesn't allow for these companies to hear our voices as consumers
To
and to
grow.
changes that are needed and to grow and to do it better the next time. So I feel like that's the thing that sucks. But I mean, I also feel like nobody ever really gets canceled. But that's just my, it may struggle for a little while, but it goes
Yeah.
back to it.
I'm with you, Miss Cheese. If they fix it, that's fine with me. I'm not going to stop using the products. But I do think it's important to have a voice and say, I don't agree with this branding, and
Yeah.
I won't buy it because of the branding on it. So
For sure.
I think that's
Yeah.
fine. Who was up next? I think it's Nunya.
Yep.
Think so.
It's me.
Okay. Hang on. You had a timestamp for me and I forgot to write it down.
So that's okay. It's in the
That's the very first part.
Yep. So we'll play that first before I even talk about my subject.
Okay.
It's just 55. I think it's like 50 seconds, 55 seconds, something like that.
My husband is in rehab, and I'm ready to talk about it. Of course, I will marry you 1,000,000 times. I am getting a divorce. I don't around when it comes to makeup, okay? I've been doing this 5 years.
You know, I'm feeling like a fucking asshole today. Try being an influencer for a day. Try it. Because you do not want to have this job. I'm just saying. Wait, you saw that waitress story? Yeah, she's full of shit. So, yeah. F you, dude. Shit's fucking crazy. You take the time to make up some stupid ass story or just share in the news or whatever the fuck. There's a special place to help you. I'm gonna need you to be so fucking for real right now. So, I blacked out. My limited edition lip kits are officially live.
There has been a lot of
All right. This young lady does a deep dive that's really good if you're interested in hearing about this story, but I'm kind of a cliff notes. Yeah, we'll make sure that the link ends up in the description before the end of the stream. So what I'm actually going to talk to is a little bit more in general, but I'm going to use Michaela as the basis for it. So Michaela Nagera, she is from Massachusetts, and in 2020, she started going live on TikTok and posting videos on TikTok doing her makeup. That was in 2020. By 2021, she had over 10 million followers. So in 1 year,
Never heard of her.
increased by 10 million followers. She's very big in the beauty influencer kind of sphere of TikTok. She now today has 17.4 million followers on TikTok. So she is huge, right? She's a big deal. The reason why I want to talk about her, she's had a lot of controversies, a lot of scam accusations that have been thrown her way. But she posted this video in January. So that'll be the next one with the red shirt on it, Deets. And it's 3 minutes long. But I want to talk about, we'll probably let the whole thing get like a lot, but yeah, the red shirt. Yep.
This one?
Yep.
Oh, is this thing on? Hi. We have a lot to talk about. Essentially, after the new year, I went completely MIA for 2 weeks, and then I've barely posted at all recently, and I want to talk about what's been going on with me. I'm going to be so completely raw and transparent in this video, and if you don't like me, you're probably not going to like what I have to say, because it's always, boo, Michaela, boo, Michaela. No, I'm just a human being, and this is what I'm fucking going through. Basically, at the end of 2025, I had an extremely eye-opening epiphany that I am completely fucking lost and I don't know who I am. By the way, everything I am about to tell you in this video, I do not expect you to care. I'm simply telling this for those who do and because I'm being asked. But mainly because you're going to see a massive shift in me and I need you to understand why. This is just what is my reality right now. Last 6 years, I have been completely immersed in influencer culture. And fuck, I told myself I was not going to cry and I'm not going to. But in the last 6 years, I feel that I have completely lost myself. God damn it, guys. I feel that I have gone down a path that I never wanted to go down, and I'm disappointed in myself. I started this career living in my parents' house in a small ass town. I moved into a 1-bedroom apartment in Johnston, Rhode Island, where my career completely blew up and changed my life. I gained over 10 million followers in a year. My life changed very, very fast in the blink of an eye. During some of my most critical years, my 20s, you can laugh, you can say whatever the fuck you want about what I'm about to say, but I know that this is true. I fucking worked my ass off over the last 6 years. I put my fucking heart and soul into everything that I have done over the last 6 years to the point where it consumed me. I was obsessed. It was all I did, all I thought about. I wouldn't take days off. I jeopardized relationships because of how much of a workaholic I am. I'm telling you firsthand right now that as someone who is a larger influencer, everything you see online is fake. Everything. When you're an influencer, you are not present. You are planning your every move. You're planning what is the next clip? What is the next clip? What is my next video? What am I doing? What is the content? Everything you do is content. You may start out with the best intentions, which obviously I did. But when you start seeing the views and the numbers and you become obsessed. I'm just saying, every influencer understands this. How can I up myself?
Okay.
How can I do better this time? How can I get more views, more engagement?
Thank you. So I was going to pause it, but so essentially she posted this video in January. Now there's been proven lies where she's gotten sponsored deals. She had a deal with L'Oreal originally for a mascara. She posted showing her using the mascara, like she's got these big, beautiful, you got to go out and buy it, everybody, right? And then it turned out that she actually had put on fake eyelashes, right? She recently, actually, I think just maybe a week ago, announced that she's now the face of L'Oreal. So like that, doing that paid off for her. Okay. Now the reason why up is more so with the privacy. So for me, when I watched this video, I was like, I can imagine yourself in 1 year, your entire life changes. You cannot trust the people who you once probably could have trusted. Some, not all, but some. You have millions of dollars flowing in. You move from your parents' basement to a humongous mansion at that point. People are throwing every brand at you because you are it. So she had this huge blow up, right? Okay. And she admits she lost her way along the way. So this video was in January. In February, she goes on to announce that her husband, they've been very open and honest, that her husband checked himself into a rehab. He is an alcoholic, and so he had relapsed and was going into rehab. Now, here we are at the end of February, and she announced that they are getting a divorce. She wants people to respect her privacy. They love each other. It's just they're not meant for each other anymore. And I think they've been together about 3 years, 2 or 3 years, something like that. And they're getting a divorce. Well, people are now obviously giving their opinions because did a video to announce to her audience, which is that last video. Deets, I don't think we'll need to play it. But when she announced her husband's relapse and that he was going into rehab, the whole video, she does makeup and talks all the time. That is her brand. People didn't like the fact that during this video, she had her product. She launched a brand around the same time of skincare products, skin prep products, excuse me. And her video was literally like this the whole time. So Cody and I are going to be doing blah, 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 blah. So all of her brand stuff is in the camera constantly, the whole video long. And she had just launched right before that. Then she sits down. She does not do that in the divorce announcement. People feel like she did not give a reason, and people feel like they are entitled to knowing what went wrong.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of the topic I want to bring forward is when people are influencers, and she's a beauty influencer, right? And she's an adult. We're just talking adult. But you know, and I know Stephanie Harlow is another one. Her divorce and the decease or the death of her ex-husband at the time,
Husband.
their relationship, that was like people felt entitled to know that information. And so my question and topic was going to be, how much information are we entitled to because these people put their lives on camera?
Well, I have one question first. Did she fake her accent? I've seen people in the
She
chat
pulled an
saying that.
Elizabeth Holmes, and she did.
Yeah, so people say that she does fake her accent. Other people say she doesn't. They pulled a video from when she was in college and they had interviewed her, and it's a total, like, just English accent, like not so hardcore New Englander. She claimed that video was for like a journalist class, so she had learned how to put on like a customer service voice. But this is her. I have no clue which one.
That's different than a customer service voice, though, because I've gone back to my first few streams, okay, and I cringe because I'm like, what is this like happy upbeat voice? Because that's like own voice. And then eventually, you know, like I understand a different like tone, you know, but a straight up different accent or a more exaggerated version of an accent is much different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do we have maybe we should put up a poll. Like, do we have a right to know all the things? Do we have a right? No. Do we want to? Hell yeah, we're nosy. We feel like we know these people that we watch on the daily. I've never watched her, but there are some influencers that I've watched that end up getting a divorce and refuse to talk about it. And I'm just like, girl, talk about it. You put all your other shit online. I want to hear that. But do we have a right to know it? No, we don't have a right to know it.
You know what this reminds me of? So Candace Owens, and if anybody's following all of that with Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk, she made a great point because you can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That's not the way that the internet works. So it's either the way she explained it, you know, not verbatim, but you can't in one moment be posting a public video and inviting people in of you holding your, you know, dead spouse's hand over his body and letting the entire world into that very intimate moment, while in the next moment turning around and then saying, hey, give me space. You know, I need time. You know, you don't have the right to be asking any questions or looking into this. So I think, are we entitled? No, you're not entitled to know that information, but that's where I feel like if you are going to be in this industry, you need to set that boundary from day one. And we see this in Hollywood too with a lot of celebrities. Usually either their kids are all up out there, you know, like they're in the movie industry too, they're walking around, or you never heard of them because there is no gray area and middle ground. It's not regulated yet.
Right. Well, it's starting to be. Illinois actually regulates child influencers. If a child is used in your social media, if they make up more than like 30% of your content in Illinois, you have to legally pay them a certain percentage based on how much time they're on and all that. And I think California might be coming out with a similar law, but I just know Illinois in fact has done that. I don't know if I agree with you. Like, I think people are allowed to change. Like, if I decide today I want to share all this stuff with you and then tomorrow I don't, do I not have that right to make the decision to change my boundary at will?
My stuff.
You have that right. I'm not saying you don't. But again, the internet is exponentially growing. Everything is at an exponential rate. We can't keep up with it. So when you are going into this industry, can you turn around tomorrow and say, you know what? I learned my lesson. I want to do things different. Absolutely. Can you expect the internet to not demand, hey, what do you mean? Yesterday you were sharing this and today you're not.
Right.
No, you can't expect.
Well, they can demand it all they want, but my boundary is my boundary. It doesn't mean I have to give it to them.
For sure. I just don't agree with 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You can't pick and choose. You either have a boundary and that boundary may have developed over time, but you got to stick with it.
So I am curious, for an influencer who pushes so many products and says, go buy this, it's amazing, you need this, right? All the women, if you want to feel beautiful, you've got to use this particular kind of makeup, whatever, right? And people, I mean, they're called influencers for a reason. They absolutely, like, specifically in the beauty beauty talk is what it's called, but specifically in that industry, we've seen if the right person uses a product, the product can go from being
It can go viral
to
Right.
going tomorrow, right? It happens all the time. I guess for me, where I think that's where her audience is coming from and feeling entitled to know the information is, we have supported and went out and ran and got every single brand that you probably have asked us to. If Michaela, gives her stamp of approval on it and says it's amazing, then we're going out to buy it. Now you're telling me I can't know this information?
I think this, yeah. I think this is interesting because we were just talking about this too privately, right? The influencers, and when they want, like, whether it's a product, a narrative, anything, and the masses, because I've heard about people who work at Target and Walmart explain how all of a sudden something will be sitting on their shelves for years. And then the moment that a certain TikToker or influencer posts the product, they are sold out instantly.
Yeah.
At a crazy rate.
Yeah.
Well, I
And
think
God,
influencers have
like
become a
the
bigger
freaking
marketing tool.
you've been using for years, because now you can't
Mhm.
get it and you've been using it for years.
Yeah. But I do
Yep.
think influencers have become a bigger marketing tool than even ads that are ran in the media. Like if you know anyone in marketing, the amount of money that they set aside just to give influencers for their ads, and we have seen that, like, a new company will come out and be solely pushed through an influencer and it'll explode. But as far as, like, the boundaries, I don't know, I just feel like people have the right to change where their boundary lines are at will. Now, is that gonna stop the internet from interneting? No, it's gonna keep pushing you like the Erica Kirk stuff. Like, Candace can keep asking her questions and keep coming up with her theories, but that doesn't mean Erica has to give it to her, you know?
Absolutely.
So,
Do you guys
that's kinda where I
remember the Fire Festival? Because it just reminded me of this, where these influencers, all they did was post, was it black or an orange blank screen they were paid to just post on there, and so many people bought all of these tickets for this festival. That was just an epic fail. It's actually really a great entertaining. They have a Netflix documentary on it, but it just goes to show the top few influencers, you could sell anything.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna end the poll. And
I was just reading JP. She said, "No influencer, but to tell everyone that Queen Helene cocoa butter lotion is the best, because if I can't buy my gallon a month, I'm gonna be eating it." I do have a really favorite glycolic acid scrub that I use, and it's an off-brand on Amazon. No one had heard about it. And then this influencer I follow, her name's Julia Gulia. She's adorable. She's a autistic woman who does duperoonies. Like, she dupes products based on the ingredients. That's what she calls them, is duperoonies. And she goes based off of the ingredients, and, like, her mind just seeks those things out, and she finds you the best dupe, and it's not based on packaging or looks, it's based on what the ingredients are. Well, she influenced people into, like, she shared this, like, secret brand I had, and then it was, like, sold out for months. I was so pissed, but it's good stuff. It's
okay,
better than Peter
my
Pan.
last question for this particular topic was going to be, are we, both as consumers, subscribers, followers of content creators, are we too entitled? Like, is it nosiness or is it entitled?
Both.
As the influencer, as the viewer?
As the viewer.
Oh yeah, I think it's both.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we feel like we need to know, and I understand that. Like I said, there's people I followed, like, we'll use this public when Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt divorced, right? Everybody's like, we know these people, we deserve to know the truth. Like, but do we really? Or
No.
nobody's. But we do get those attachments to people we see on our screens, and we're like, we feel like we know it, but are we, entitled to know it? No. But I do think it's both.
I agree, yeah.
Do you think the fact that so much is on social media right now plays a big part Like the sleuths are out there searching for things that nobody wants them to find at times. Do you think that plays a big part in what's made us feel a little bit more entitled than nosy?
Yeah, I think the internet comes across, right, different from mainstream media, right? Like, yes, but I'm one-on-one. I'm not bound by the limitations that mainstream media will bring you. Same thing
Right.
with influencers. I'm here to relate to you on a more personal level. I'm not paid, or they weren't. I'm not paid to just tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to actually review the product. So I think there's a more personal feeling where you've become even more so like, well, you've let me in the same way I'm on your Facebook, right? Like I'm on
Mhm.
Instagram, you know, like there's this disconnect that's happening that boundary doesn't exist yet.
Right. You feel like and honestly, I feel like we get the term parasocial mixed up quite a bit, but this is where parasocial relationships truly do come in because,
Mhm.
like, I know Grandma Sherry in the chat, and if I had a behind the scenes relationship with her, that's not parasocial. What would be is like me feeling like I have a true friendship with this Michaela chick because I've watched her for 10 years. That's actually a parasocial relationship. She has no idea who I am. And that's where I feel like the parasocial relationships come into play and cause an issue because they do come in, like, you feel like you're connected to these people and you know these people, but they don't know who you are. They saw
They
you
have
out on
no
the
idea.
street, they wouldn't know who you were for Adam, even if they did happen to chat with you, you know?
Listen, can you pull up that last video? I want to play just the beginning of it, and I feel like it spoke volumes for how parasocial her audience is with her. It's literally just like the first, I don't know,
Hang
maybe
on, I had it.
Nanya, do you
15,
feel
20
like
seconds.
since she's gotten caught, she's now using this scenario for content purposes, but it can't seem like she's relating now and giving heart to hearts?
No. So I actually like her content. I don't mind her content at all, but I'm not easily influenced either, so that makes a big difference for me. I like her content. I don't mind her voice because I don't pay attention to voices like that. I know some people like can't stand it, but for me, it doesn't bother me. I like the fact that she went from I started watching her in 2020 when she first started doing her videos, and watching her skill level go from what it was to what it is now, like that I enjoy. I think though that she blew up too quickly. She wasn't prepared for it. And she's only 24 or like 25.
Seriously?
So big
She
part
looks
in it too,
older.
so young. Well, so like to be thrown in the public eye, I can imagine that's one part in it. And two,
Mhm.
I believe her when she says she lost herself and this life is fake as hell.
Yeah,
I believe her
if she's
says
only
that.
24, yeah, she's, you know, her frontal lobe's not fully developed. She's still figuring out who she is.
Right. I do kind of feel like though that the divorce and the rehab and a lot of these shocking announcements she's been making lately, they have aligned perfectly with her skin prep line, and I don't like that.
Mm.
Like, not that you can plan when somebody goes into rehab, so I'm not saying that at all, but, like, it just I don't know. She over the past year, you've seen her do videos where, like, something is clearly going on in her personal life, but you just can't see it, right? She's just
Yeah.
not, but you can tell that, like, she is not herself during that over the last year. Um, but then her line comes out and all of a sudden there's all these bomb dropping, jaw dropping bombs she's sending out to her audience. And I mean, what better way to sell your line than people like, oh, she's going through it. Oh, she loves her husband and he had to go to rehab. She needs me to support her. Oh my gosh, divorce is so hard. I know what I went through with my divorce. I've got to support her.
But what are the chances that that's just what her life is right now? Like, you're 24, life is messy, and you're still making moves on top of it. There's a chance that it has one has nothing to do with the other. They're just coexisting at the same time.
I
But you'll feel a certain type of way because she is influencing you on top of it. So, I don't know. Because, like,
I don't know.
seriously, think about when you were 24. Your life was hella messy. on the daily.
It 100%. I do not doubt that like there's mess in her life. I just feel like the video in the little intro that we played, there's one like I blacked out, right? So she's doing a parody of Jaclyn Hill when Jaclyn Hill did that, but she blacked out and spent over $180,000 in high-end products.
I never had a blackout like that.
And like
but-
that's what she's telling her
I wish.
audience. When her husband, right before her husband relapsed, they went to a trip to Vegas, and all of her videos that she was posting was them drinking and posting videos that she doesn't even remember the next day. Like, I just feel like she's very disconnected from reality. Not reality. Like,
well, she
the
probably
person
is.
once was of humility and of living in, you know, in a very humble life. It's like it's so far away from her right now, and that part, because that's so out of touch from the normal person. You're telling me, hey, go use this product that you just got for free, but would you buy it? That's what I need to know.
Well, that's why I don't really care that much about influencers, because I feel like most of the products they peddle are just they're being paid to show
For the
them, you
brand
know.
deal. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I do like what you mentioned though, Nanya, because when you said she grew too fast, I often think about that, and I've witnessed that on a much smaller scale. But I ask myself all the time, if I had blown up overnight, I think back to all the mistakes I did make, you know, and if I was bigger and I didn't have time to correct a lot, especially in true crime, like I did, you know, I discussed things that I shouldn't have discussed, in my opinion, you know, or shared my opinion when I shouldn't have. If I didn't have time to learn that, though, with the slow growth, I would probably be canceled myself, you know, like, and so I think that that's a good point. You know, when you grow at such an exponential rate, you don't have time to learn either.
well, and as Chatter said, she makes her money from posting daily. So her daily posts are going, you know, her life is going to start bleeding into them. So if she's got chaos and mess going on in her life, that's going to transition into her posts, because she has to post to make that money. Like now she's on this, you know, track of where to go trajectory, and she has to keep doing it to provide herself the income. It's going to be a
And you have to
messy
keep stepping it
wheel
up
to get out.
too.
Yeah.
Right. You have to keep chasing that you got to do better than the last time, got to do more, got to get more views, got to put better content than the last time.
And in that other video we watched, she does go on to say that like she stopped being present with her friends and her family and stopped giving attention and time into those relationships because she was so on what do I need to record right now for content
minded.
And she does say that, like she does go on in that video to say that, and that for me was like how many people that are influencers right now are hearing her and going, that's me right now. And I have a lot of them.
Okay, I'm gonna play the first
I have
part of it.
You have fireworks. I'm feeling really boring on my damn.
Who had fireworks?
I don't know. I just did in my
You,
background.
she just blew up. Baby,
I
you're
think
a
it's a
firework.
double thumbs up. I think if you do a double thumbs up.
Oh. I didn't. Maybe
I don't
maybe
know.
it thought.
got
I don't know. Anyway. Okay. So if we play this real quick, I'll just show you the parasocial part. But if we play this real quick, I'll just show you the parasocial part, and then this topic.
This video by saying I appreciate you, and I love you, and you're gonna want to sit down for this video. I am getting a divorce.
Hang on.
Take a minute.
Okay, so she's like, "You're gonna want to sit down for this." Who wants
very
to sit down?
Dramatic.
But that's so. And when people do this, people sometimes don't even realize that like they are parasocially connected to some of these creators at times. And when I heard that, I was like, the people who are like, "Oh shoot, let me go sit down. I gotta find a seat. Michaela needs to talk to me."
Tracy.
Those
she said she sat down.
You did sit down, chasing.
What happens if you flip
like,
birds?
and I'm like, that's parasocial as hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that though. That, I mean, that goes like across any content that you consume. When people say we are here tonight, like when they're trying to put like that terminology on there, it's a grow that parasocial relationship to make you feel like you are just as much a part of this as I am. It's
Well,
some people need to hear that.
And
some people, when they hear that, they become
I
because I
often
feel like they
wonder
need to hear it
though
so much.
how much of it is a parasocial aspect of it, or just that person being real. Like, girl, come here, sit down. I want you to hear this. Like, sometimes it's just their personality. I did too, Tess. I cried.
You all cried when his Pomeranian died?
The way he talked about it choked me up, bitch. Okay?
Oh my gosh. I can't. I'm judging. I'm listening and I'm judging all at the same time.
Listen, I will cry if people tell me about their pets or harm to their kids or things like that. Yes, I did cry. And I don't even like him like that. It was just the emotion in his voice, the way he was talking about his dog. I sure did cry.
I cannot.
I'm sorry you have no heart and soul. Do you want me to play more of this?
No, that was
Okay.
it. It was just, I just wanted to show you how like she definitely has a parasocial relationship with her audience, and it's very clear the way that she speaks. So okay, but that's
What
my
was the poll? How did the poll end
The poll,
up?
85% said no, we're not entitled.
Yeah,
And
I don't
15%
think we are.
yes, we are entitled.
And then leave your thoughts on the replay so we know how you guys feel too.
Mm-hmm. I am going to you're gonna pull your stuff up, MJ?
Yeah, I'm good. Well,
okay, I'm gonna turn my cam and mic off for a second. Luke's leaving for work, so I'm gonna go tell him bye real quick.
Okay.
Okay, bye. Right. Have a great day, Luke.
Bye. All right. So my topic for tonight, and I feel like we all had parallels with our topics, which is really cool. But all right, so we regulate child actors, right? We regulate child labor. We regulate child athletes. But when it comes to family vloggers making millions off their kids' daily lives, suddenly it's just parenting. So I want to talk about, are family vloggers channels wholesome content or the most normalized form of child exploitation on the internet? And I acknowledge there's a lot of gray area with this, and I know we have opposite viewpoints. I do not believe minors should be allowed on the internet, especially in the form of family content and like parents who are just straight up. And it sucks because I watch family vloggers too, so I'm part of the problem. But if you can't give informed consent when you're a child, you just can't.
At any age.
Some of these at any age.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah, you can't. If you are not 18, you cannot give informed consent. Period. And so I do not think parents should be allowed to incorporate their minor children on everyday content creation. I do not. What are your thoughts?
So as a person who used to run a family blog, so I think that there are lines in it for me. Before we even started ours, we had asked our children, they were early teen years at the time. We asked our kids, this is what we want to do. Do you want to sit down with us? Do you want to do this with us? And they agreed. And we ended it once they said, this is boring, we don't want to do this anymore. We ended it at that point, right? So we honored their request in that. I personally, so I think there's such a line, right? You think of some of the worst family bloggers that are out there, and that's what you say every one of them is. And I disagree with that strongly. I think that there are people who want to show, sometimes people need to see that there are families out there that go through the same struggles as they are. It makes them feel less alone, who have some of the challenges that they have with teenagers or children, or maybe children with special needs or things like that. They need to see that so that they don't what they're going through on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes they need to see a two-parent household and there can be challenges there. There can be arguments, there can be fights. It doesn't lessen the love at all. So I'm very big at like being able to put that out there. I just think that there are very lines. Like I would never tell any of my children's personal stories for them, right? Like that's their personal story. Or if they had some type of trauma in their life, I would allow them to tell their story if that's what they wanted to do. But I'm not going to be out here telling their story for them. Like I know we've talked about it at one point in time. We had a conversation of one of the bloggers, which you may have it in here, was putting her daughter and her sat down to discuss periods.
Yes.
Right. And how inappropriate that was. I agree with you. I wouldn't do it. But what about that first time mom who didn't have a mom growing up? She has no clue how to have that conversation. Watching that content may give her an idea of where to start the conversation and how to handle that conversation to give her the ability to have that conversation with her own daughter, obviously not on camera, but to have her own conversation with her daughter. So that's for me.
Do you see it in the, because I totally understand, and again, there's a lot of gray area here, and I acknowledge there's a lot of gray area here, but you're seeing it as the fellow mom who I could relate, or maybe the other child who didn't have a mom to sit down. But what about the child who is being filmed, very intimate moments, and let's say it's at 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, and they may say yes now, but they cannot give informed consent. So do they understand when you're asking them, hey, do you want to be on a YouTube channel? Majority of children, I would assume, are going to say, yeah, that sounds awesome. But in years from now, and they understand majority of these family vlogger channels are being streamed to the dark fucking web. Oh, sorry to curse. The dark web.
You can curse here.
Being consumed by predators. And what if when they become of legal age and their brain is fully formed, they decide, I don't want that. And it's now on the internet forever.
I think I'm going to be in the middle of both of you on this one, but I have one question before I give my thoughts on this. So you don't think children of any age until they're 18, they cannot give consent. So what are your thoughts on, you know, let's just say teenagers, 13 to 18, who do this themselves without the family vlog aspect of it?
Sure. I don't think that they should be allowed. I do not, if they are not 18, I do not think they should be allowed. And again, I am hypocritical with it. I watch channels with it. There are times where I'm like, this is really wholesome content. But when it comes down to it, no, I don't agree. Because I even look at Ruby Frankie's daughter, who has advocated very much against. She was all for it. She was stoked. She wanted to be in those videos so bad. And then what happens? Either one, they change their mind as they understand things that they could not possibly understand at that age, or it becomes extremely exploitative. When you are a child actor in the industry, you are bound by certain laws. You could only work X amount of hours. School has to be incorporated and you are being paid. Those standards, and I know you had mentioned it earlier because it's starting to happen, but that's not there in, again, this gray area of the internet. And so we have heard children speak out time and time again how it was all fun until all of a sudden it became genuine work, and it could go under abuse, exploitative, intimate moments. And again, who is consuming it? Because I listened, it was in the Piper Raquel Netflix documentary, and it was explaining, this expert was saying how majority of these Instagram moms, even posting their young children, they found that majority, like 85% of the traffic, are middle-aged men that would go back to finding those same images on the dark web. And so who is this content for? When you really get down to it, maybe there are genuine, awesome people who are really looking for advice, but the majority of it, it's really disturbing if you have any idea who's consuming this material.
So my question is this, Are you focused only on specific type of vloggers? Because the type of family vloggers I watch are typically homesteaders and like
Mhm.
the Rhodes family, and they have their kids on there all the time, but they're not talking about periods or things like that. But like one of the sons dislocated his hip, ended up having to have surgery, and they shared that journey. And I just feel like that is completely different than the type of vloggers you're talking about.
And that's what I'm saying. It's gray area because there's plenty of really wholesome content I watch where the children are not like usually you see the back of them, they're not the main focus. And I
Yeah.
wish I could say, hey, that's okay, but this isn't. But that's not how it works. You know, like you can't have it's either one way or the other. And so if I have to land on one way, it's keep all minors off the internet, period. And this article here this is in 2023 alone, an estimated 213,592 people were victims of a sex offense in the United States of America. Children ages 10 and under accounted for 38,444 of those victims, and children ages 11 through 15 accounted for 56,682. Among these victims, child influencers are becoming prime targets due to their high public visibility and wide online following. As children use social media platforms to promote their public brands, they are rendered as prime targets for online predators. So, and I know we had talked about it privately. I saw this really moving commercial, and it was this little girl going up the escalator at the mall with her parents. And one by one, every person they passed were like, "Hey, Jenny, how are you doing?" And the little girl looks up at her parents. Her parents are confused, like, "Do you know who that is?" No. Then past the next stranger, you know, like, "Oh, hey, Jimmy, did you make it to the baseball game?" Until eventually you figure out, no, this is the parents posting their child's every move, every whereabouts all over social media. When in reality, yeah, that's a bunch of strangers knowing everything about your child, knowing everywhere you go, knowing who you're among, and it's dangerous. And so you can make that choice as an adult. A child can't make that choice, and you are meant to protect your children. And I do not agree with putting them out there. I think it's dangerous and it's unregulated.
I do think it's unregulated. I'm very happy to see the Illinois law and that California is working on one, and hopefully more states will step up and do that. But um I don't know. I don't think it's like I don't know. I don't think it's like keep them off the internet completely. I don't think that's feasible.
Well,
I
it's
yeah.
happening right now. Sorry, go ahead.
Hmm?
Go
How
ahead,
is it
honey.
happening now?
Well, like we were just saying, they're starting to pass the laws and stuff. If you aren't of a certain age, you cannot have these platforms or you cannot be featured.
Mhm. What platforms are doing that? Like, I know you can't get a Facebook until you're 13, you can't get an Instagram until you're 13, but you can still be featured on those platforms. Are there
Yeah, I think
platforms that are restricting you completely from even featuring your child if you so choose? And I do agree with what you're about to show us. Those things are definitely, you know,
Yeah.
I don't need to see a video of a
That's
little girl going bra shopping at all.
Mhm.
So, or
yeah.
who's in bathtubs. I don't need to see that, period. But watching, you know, some kids tending to their chickens and teaching me how to build a bridge across the creek, I think that's on the dark web.
But how do you okay, with what you're saying, how do you determine who can post what then? Okay, you could
I
post
don't
if
think you can.
doing
I
homestead, you know, or you can't post if you're doing this because everyone's lines and boundaries are different. What one parent is like, that's totally fine. Another parent would be like, absolutely not. Some parents don't even let their kids have sleepovers. I respect it. I'm just saying
I respect
that
that,
seems
yeah.
outlandish for one and not for the other. So that's my
Mhm.
point. There is so much gray area, and you can't sit there and say,
You
well,
can't
it's okay
regulate
if you
it.
feature them doing this, but not this. So it's either one or the other, in my view. And they shouldn't be there. They shouldn't be there.
Mhm. Well, I think this
I
comes down to the adult's responsibility on this situation. Like you said earlier, it is your job to protect your children. You know, would I ever show a video of Morgan preteen bra shopping? Hell no. That's her privacy and I respect her privacy. Um, but I do agree that you're right. Like, how can okay, so if we were to say no 13-year-olds and under on the internet, well, then that would stop us from learning about the kids who, homestead chickens and build bridges. But what's wrong with that compared to bra shopping? I do see a vast difference. And so I agree that you're right. There's no way to regulate this properly. So it is going to have to be all or nothing. Sorry.
Yeah. I think that I feel like it's okay. I have like 4 different thoughts in my head and they're all trying to come out of one mouth and it's not happening well. First and foremost, I think that it's a parent's choice because it's their kid, right? Now, for me and my children, right? I asked them if they wanted to participate. I had no problem with doing it for them. I did not share anything that was intimate, like bathtub photos, bra shopping photos. Yeah, I do think that when it comes to intimate moments like that, that should not be something that should be what is regulated. I don't say don't bring your kids on your platform. That is their child. Now, what I do believe in as well is having some type of regulatory laws that are in place, similar to child actors of we want to make sure that you're not just working them like a workhorse either. Content. So I agree that there could be regulation there. I believe that there could be regulation in, some allowing them to keep some private moments private, right? I do agree with you there. I feel like that's common sense, but obviously, since there are obviously videos out there, that's not very common, right? I also think, though, I am not a parent who thinks, okay, controversial take, sorry. A lot of people aren't going to agree with me on this, and I understand it. I am not a person who sits around and worries about what's going to end up on the dark web. I just am not. And I know that predators are out there. My 2 particular things that I do is I have daughters. I have 3 daughters. And those 3 daughters are very curvy, beautiful young women, right? I have absolutely told them and tried to teach them the best that I could of making sure they know their surroundings. There's no need for you to, don't take a drink from somebody at a bar. Don't do this, don't do that. I have tried everything I can to inform them this is how you can stay safe. And as a parent, when they were under 18, I did my best to protect them. Like they couldn't go to anybody's house if I didn't meet the parents first. And I got to get my own vibe and use my own discernment to determine if they could stay there or not stay there or anything like that, right? Those are the steps I took as a parent to protect my kid. Now, it doesn't mean that somebody else may not take those very exact same steps and something bad may happen to their kid. That is possible. But I tried very hard to make my kids aware that, like, there is danger out there and it's very, very real. But I do not want them to live in a bubble because of fear of that danger. For me, that was just for me and, and for my kids. So I don't tend to think of like, oh, that could go over here. That could go over there. It's important to be proactive to keep them safe. Yes. And I'm not judging anybody who does choose to do that. Like, not at all. I just think we're telling people how to parent their kids. And not allowing them to come on the internet at all. Like, I just think that's very unrealistic in 2026, when 9 times out of 10, by the time they're old enough to get jobs, it will be internet related.
So then let's because I hear what you're saying and you're making great points. And I also just want to acknowledge Samantha in the chat because she says, what's the difference between family vloggers and toddlers and tiaras, right? And the difference is, at least for me, is that toddlers and tiaras is regulated. Like, they could only film them so much and they are getting paid. So my question would be, in a situation where you're filming your child's meltdown, right? We could argue that this is for educational purposes. Is it content, emotional exploitation? What is it? Because
I think it's
again, it's a very intimate moment. And I respect you and everything you're saying as a parent, and I wish that applied across all parents, but we know it doesn't, you know? And so, especially when we're talking about much younger children, you know, like let's say you're filming an epic meltdown to show your parenting techniques. Yeah, you could argue that is for educational purposes, and maybe it does help some, but at the same time, is filming your child in a very intimate moment like that, should that be content?
Well, let me ask you this. Say that you're a travel vlogger
Okay.
and your content, you know, pretend Luke and I have young children. And our content is focused solely or mainly on me and Luke traveling, but we decide to go to Disney World. And in the course of that, my kids end up in the vlog. Am I exploiting them? Or one of them has a meltdown because they don't get the right Mickey Mouse ice cream. Is that exploiting them? They're not a featured part of my hypothetical vlog, but if they are in there on occasion, would that be the same in your mind?
No. And again, I know this is what I'm saying. Like, I will be hypocritical with this because I acknowledge
Yeah.
absolutely there are times where it's like, well, that seems ridiculous. Of course, that should be fine. But I don't agree with the family vloggers who every day are posting very intimate moments of their children. Like we talked about, whether it's the periods, whether it's the deep heart-to-heart conversations, whether it's the forcing them to make content and make it appear. I don't know about any of you guys, but I had a child who was watching YouTube at one point, and she would watch these family vloggers and get this idea in her head that this is what reality was. And it is not. And so I'm trying to understand, what is it doing to a child's, like a 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old brain when they have to perform every day? And at the end of that day, at the end of that year, pumping out content, they don't get $1 for it. And it's not regulated. They're not bound by hours. Is that not at that point the parents exploiting them? There's a difference between the channel is content based, and in that content you see children time to time, you capture a meltdown at Disney World, versus I am up with a camera in your face while you have tears running down your eyes because I want to film this moment.
Yeah, you're turning the child into the content instead of like the mommy moments or whatnot. This kind of reminds me of a conversation I had with a friend a long time ago about the responsibilities on the parents versus the school. Like, is it the school's responsibility to teach your children? On certain aspects, there are things that, of course, they're responsible for, but ultimately, you as the parent are responsible for teaching them all this stuff, making sure that they, you know, flourish, get their education. If they're learning above, be their advocate to get them pushed up, or if they're learning below, be their advocate to get them into the special classes they need. So it ultimately is not necessarily on the school's back. Yeah, they have a role in it, but it's your job as a parent. And I see that very similar in this situation, that it's not the internet's job to regulate these things, or even our lawmakers' jobs to regulate them, although that would be nice and that would be good. I think it's our job as parents to do what's best for our children. And unfortunately, there's just going to be a large group of people out there that don't see it as a problem, and you know, will continue to perpetuate that cycle. They won't be their child's advocate.
Sorry. I think for me too, I agree with that it is on the parents. I don't know, maybe because I'm again, maybe because I consume the content, that may be like what's driving, maybe what's driving my thought process. But I think to put every family blogger in the same box is like, that's like putting every content creator in the same box. It's just not, because everybody is different. I also think assuming that every kid is getting on there to perform, so to speak, versus getting on there to just be themselves and being like uniquely them as they are, you know? I don't know. Yeah, I just don't have a problem with it. I do agree with you with some of the intimate moments. But if we're Disneyland and I'm recording this for content because odds are my content paid for us to be at Disneyland in the first place because I couldn't afford it, then yeah, I'm going to do a Disneyland video of some dances. And maybe I don't necessarily need to have the camera in your face, but like a little clip of JoJo having a meltdown over the Mickey ice cream, like that's not going to be like, you're seeing this maybe 5-second clip, right? Out of hours and hours of time that we were there as a family, enjoying each other, having a great time and making memories.
So for the family vloggers that blog, because and again, I watch them too. I do exactly what I'm saying I shouldn't do. But the ones who follow, and they have a lot of kids, usually from the moment a child is born, right? We have our newest addition to the family. We can all acknowledge the internet is a scary place, and it is rough for even a grown-ass adult. The amount of hate, the amount of backlash you will get, they will pick apart every little thing. Again, we make those choices as informed adults, and we are giving consent, right? We can give consent. Now you're taking children from the moment they are born, putting their face out there on a massive platform and following them for years. And so I hear what you're saying as far as not everything is performative. And while I can agree with that, but what is the impact that's going to have on those children who cannot give informed consent? And looking in the comment section, right, and getting picked apart, the nasty negative comments and energy that's going to come their way, the harassment, never living any type of normal life if they get that much of a following. And we've seen that before. They didn't make that choice. So what are your thoughts about that?
Well, what's the difference of them and an actor's kid? We followed
that's a great point.
Where Beyonce went as she was getting older, and to this day, like she can't just go out. And her mom didn't choose to put her in the spotlight. Her mom and her dad are in the spotlight. To me, it's like I would treat it in the same exact way. Just because we can doesn't mean that we should.
Well, and while I agree that the internet is a nasty place, or can be, the world can also be a nasty place in general, and you can't keep them from the world. Um, I don't know. To me, it's always going to fall back on the parents to be the responsible party and to do the right thing. And
yeah,
there was a chatter earlier. I think it was Allie who mentioned, like, well, what about the parents that don't do it? How can we advocate for those kids? And I don't know the answer to that, unfortunately. And that's a problem we have on the internet and off the internet as well. But I don't think that there is a blanket like law you could make for this to like just keep kids off the internet altogether, because I do agree with Nanya on the point that like this is here. All of us have been in an era where we didn't live online, and now there is, the internet is 24/7. Our kids or our grandkids don't know that life. They live in an era where the internet's always been there. So it's not going to change that aspect of it. It's going to be learning how to navigate this new territory, And it's not even new anymore, but it's expanding and getting bigger and crazier.
Yeah. Do you think children should be paid employees of family content?
I do. I think if they are, I agree with the law that's here. I can't remember the percentages. I think it's like if they're more than 30% of your content, then you have to pay them, so much. And I agree with that completely. I would think if you were doing, like, if we were to do a family vlog situation, that money would be set aside for them. And I do think that those are good laws to put into place, which kind of goes along with if they are actors as children, like my child babysat, or one had a lawn mowing company as a minor, they deserve to be paid for the work they're doing. I don't think that they should not be paid. Absolutely do.
Yeah, I do. I agree. I think that some of the money should absolutely like be set to the side for that kid when they turn 18. If they don't want to ever stream again and they want to go into a life of seclusion and live off the grid, they should absolutely be able to do that and walk away from it at that point if that's their choice. I would hope that the parent would stop before that point if that kid didn't want to do it that much. But yeah, I would definitely say I do have to pause for a second because Jones right now. We are almost at 200 likes. If you haven't already, please do like. We're trying to get to 200. As soon as we get to 200, we're going to play you a little cute video that's pretty funny about one of our
Look
hosts.
at that, MJ.
I don't have the bloop, 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 bloop.
Maybe I did like that. Maybe that's how I got the fireworks.
Oh, that's so
I
cute.
probably talked with my hands, maybe. How did you do that, though? So it must have to sit
Just
there
make
for
a heart.
I got nothing. Damn it. I'm looking for like a heart I can put.
Yeah, you're like,
I'm like trying to focus. How do I do it? Anyways, we'll practice later. It's totally fine.
Go ahead.
But yeah, like that's my thing is I think a lot of it is on the parents to regulate. I think that the kids should there should be very similar to child actor. I do believe in the pay regulations and the hour regulations for sure.
I agree. And you guys all make great points. And I really don't disagree on any of them, versus I acknowledge that it needs to be regulated and it's not regulated. And I think to Ruby Frankie's daughter, and again, she's a great example because she's advocating hard to get laws passed. And she was paid too. She was getting a cut out of that. And at the end, her mom took all of it, And I think I want to circle it back around to what you were just speaking about during your topic, Nanya, because this growing at a very fast rate. Well, that's kind of the story that she shared, right? Her mom wasn't like that. Her mom was really wholesome. And I believe majority of the people, even Michaela, right? When you first start out your content, I'm sure you genuinely were giving legitimate reviews, and being honest and just trying to help a girl out. And then something happens when you have that fast of a growth rate and you're pulling in over 100,000, 200,000 a month. Okay. At that point, I feel like there's a shift that can happen, and that we've seen happen. And where it's dangerous is when the children are involved and it's no longer fun family vlogging versus you are filming every damn intimate moment. You are forcing me to put on this smile. And that's what with Ruby Frankie's children, they explain, like it went from fun and loving to I will pay you to get on and film this. They didn't want to anymore. They did originally, no longer wanted to. And at the end, they didn't get $1 out of everything they'd done. They didn't get $1 out of it. All they got was horrific abuse and their mom ending up in jail now, prison. Right. And so I acknowledge it needs to be regulated. And so I think under 13, at least, I don't think they should be put on family vloggers channels. Like if you're going to have them, blur their faces, but should not be your sole content. 13 and up, regulated, set hours, being paid. Make sure they're being paid, because if one of those children turned around, let's say, and agreed at 8 years old to film, 10 years later, 18, this is on the internet forever. And I'm asking my mom, take down 10 years worth of content. I no longer consent to this. Do you think that parent would? But again, every parent's different.
I think they should. I do think that, again, it goes back to the parent itself. But, if I put my kids on Facebook, I was a Facebook mom of the 2000s. So sporting events and stuff like that. It's not there now, but like I did, it was we posted pictures of our lives and everything. It wasn't a vlog, but, and it was just family following me, but still, if they came to me now and said, hey, I don't want any of that stuff online. Like my daughter has requested certain things to be posted, like you can post this if you want, but no, please don't share any of this. And that's, you have to respect those boundaries. Absolutely.
The other thing I'll say is, sorry.
You're fine.
Angie, I was going to say to your point, there's a family I follow. Keith Lee is a very big food blogger and he does food reviews, right? His family has been a part of some of his videos, but they're not in all of his videos, right? His main content, like I'd say 98% of his content is his food reviews. And then he has like maybe 1% with his wife and 1% that every now and then you'll see a kid, right? Like they did this little cookie challenge thing with their kids, whatever. But what I will say though is he has been very adamant that he would never travel without security for his kids. His kids do go to his events. His kids will stay in the hotel with their family and with security. So I think that even when you may put them online when they're younger. And like you said earlier, people start to get connected to those kids. Like these are our kids. Their
Right.
internet
We watched you grow up.
all the time. Their internet aunties are out there. Their internet uncle, whatever. They're out there, right? That parasocial relationship starts in that way. And you watch them grow up and you feel like, oh, this kid, whatever. And you get connected to them in that way. But I think that is where there is potential for some danger to come in, because when you start taking those trips and when you start doing that, now if you're just traveling, you, your husband and the kids, or you by yourself as a single parent with those kids, I would have a problem with that, because you're only one person, you're only two people trying to watch the kids everywhere they go, and there is a certain level of danger that I do believe is happening, or can potentially happen. So I do think that they would have to have security to travel, because people online are crazy. So but yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Well, that's where I go to. I think it's not just online. It's like people in the world are crazy. Like Bob said, unfortunately, it won't remove what's already been uploaded to the dark web. A local girls volleyball team, now this has been about 10 years ago, had a bunch of pictures taken of them. They were in junior high, and it was found on the dark web. It became a whole cautionary tale in our region. They just went and played a volleyball game. They didn't, none of it was posted online by anybody. It was just somebody had went to that game, took pictures of the girls playing, and put it online. And it became this whole thing of like, well, how do you can't, unless you're willing to put them in bubble wrap and hide them in a room. Like they were just out living their lives, doing their normal volleyball game in junior high. So there are things that are going to happen that you don't have control over, unfortunately. And I think that's where teaching your children realistic values of the world come into play. Like realistic expectations of what they're going to encounter out there in the world, whether it be online or in real life, are very important to do. And I don't think a lot of people are.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm gonna highlight Solo first, and then I'll go back to Marlena's question. So Solo says, so he needs security for the kids because of a decision he made. Sounds like an oxymoron. I disagree. He needs security for the kids because the world is crazy, and his job, right, which is it provides for that family. His job, which is reviewing food, does put his family at risk because he is a public figure. So I feel like that does go for like any public figures. But yeah, that's yeah. So Marlena wants to know, how do we feel about the parents who let their kids do the unboxing and the
I was gonna
toy
ask
channel
you,
reviews, because
like
they're
Ryan, yeah,
really big channel. I don't remember his name. I'm gonna go look it up.
it's
But
Ryan, isn't it? Ryan's
Ryan's, yeah.
Yeah.
He was like the
where the
OG.
content is solely the child. What do you think of that?
I don't agree with that. And just like Harlot said, nothing can undo that damage, right? I would never put my kids online if I had any, because I'm pretty sure I would never forgive my parents if they had done that to me. And I think back to, oh my God, my most embarrassing, like even on the less disturbing side, I think back to all of those embarrassing moments, like all of that. Oh my God, like I was a
preteen voice,
right.
and
it's you're reliving that now on the internet forever. But we also live in the age where stalkers aren't outside your windows peeping in through the blinds anymore. They're able to watch your every move because you are giving up that information willingly and freely. And I just don't. And it's so hard because you can make that same argument. Okay, I posted on Facebook with my family and friends, but when you post something to Facebook and that terms of service, your photo of your child can end up on a billboard. You're giving up rights to it. Most people don't even realize that. And so when you're on a much larger scale, again, it's terrifying because it's like a child didn't choose that, or they thought they were making an informed
Right.
decision. But again, their brain isn't formed. They don't understand the ramifications. They don't understand the consequences. They don't understand the internet's going to live forever, you know? And so I couldn't imagine taking a child's decision at that age thinking, yeah, you're giving consent. You know what you're doing. No, they don't. You as a parent knows what they're doing. So I agree. It falls upon the parent. But then again, we have a lot of parenting out here that they're not putting their child's best interest. That's why it has to be regulated. It has to be regulated. I agree. If they're going to be in content, it should be limited to how much. Like they can't be in more than 30% of your content. And maybe there has to be redactions. I don't think they should be giving out names. Everything is given out, like everything. Your name, where you live, where you're going to school drop-offs are filmed, every single thing. And that child who they didn't make that decision. How that's not fair that you just put them on the public platform and their business all out there and they had not one say of it. But I guess
So
like it
for
makes it more than
Ryan,
Hollywood, right? Like having children in the limelight, you know, like, but I don't know.
So for Ryan, I also think it could be said for politicians as well. Their children didn't choose the
Yeah.
career that their parents went to, and yet we're all up in the kids' business most of the time. But so for Ryan, it's Ryan's World now. It used to be Ryan Toys Reviews. But for him, since he's not doing that like daily kind of lifestyle vlog version of it, he's doing the toys and he just talks about the toy and if he likes it, if he doesn't like it, right? I would agree with the regulation of how much time is he putting into this, like compared to his education, because eventually this could go away. He could lose all his followers tomorrow, and then what? You know, what does he do with his life? I also would agree with the amount of money that his parents have made off of it. What do they have set to the side? Like, what's his? If all this channel is basically him, I know they're featured at times, but if the channel is majority him, then I feel like majority of the money should go to him.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I agree.
that would be my thing.
And I love what Bob said, because she said, if your child is using online platforms, the predators are right inside your kids' bedrooms. And it's so right, you know, like, and it sucks because again, you or me or everyone here, right, majority here, at least, when you're absorbing that content, you have the positive feelings. You're probably relating as a mom, like, oh my God, I miss doing, you know, my 2-year-old hair and sitting there with the spray bottle. I know I consume it too, but that's not, you know, we can't just account for us because again, majority of these Instagram moms and the things that they're posting of their children, whether it's in their little dance costumes or this, it is being trafficked to the dark web. But I also hear your point, Nanya, where it's like, I could only give my children tools and I can't live just waiting for that to happen. But I circle it right back around. Yes, you give your children tools as they get older, but they don't understand at 4, at 3, at 5. They can't really understand.
No, I think that there's definitely an age of accountability where your children can't consent and they don't know. So you have to be the responsible party. But, you know, there are 12 to 18-year-olds out there raising themselves. So I feel like that's where it becomes this like area of like knowledge, you know, like should it be 18? Should it be a teenager and above? Like I don't know.
It's hard.
That is not on me.
Kaisenet was 16. Yeah,
Mhm.
Kaisenet was 16 sitting in his mom's basement when he started his first YouTube channel. And he's one of Twitch. I think he may be the largest Twitch streamer today. And he will shut down Twitch with that many subscribers. But he was 16 when he started and he was just talking like with his friends at first and doing goofy little things in the basement, like playing basketball in a little fake, you know, whatever. And I mean, now obviously it's 8 years later and he has a humongous platform. And not to say that that's the greatest thing because he's had his own challenges throughout the years. But for me, I just don't see a problem with it. I think to believe that all children will forever stay off of social media is just
I think we're past that point, right?
To believe that. Yeah, like I think parents fool themselves into believing that their kids are not on social media in some way or another But I think that's when you get kids who are sneaking it, and kids who are, over here and over there, and you don't even know what's going on. And then it's, all of a sudden it's like, I don't know what happened. I didn't even know they had
And then
such a
that's extra dangerous if you're not willing to have those conversations with your kids, but everybody in their class has Instagram, so she's hiding Instagram instead of having that willingness to have the open conversation with them. That's where some danger. But I think it would be interesting, some statistics, because I love data, but like we were talking earlier about predators and stalkers, they're in your bedroom if your kids are online. I would be very interested to see what the statistics of abductions or stalking from an online platform versus in real life, because I feel like even in 2026 crimes of opportunity are still more prevalent than an online, like watching your kid go to school and come from school every day on your social media and then going and grabbing them versus just a crime of opportunity. I'm just curious what the data on that would look like.
Yeah, we have a popular YouTube child stars Instagram account, which had millions of followers, and it was found that 70% of the demographics were men over the age of 24. Those are the followers, So again, you have those
I could believe
lovely
that.
moms in there, but then think about it. Remember Howard Stern? They did a countdown for Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen turning 18. Majority are creepy people following, and they consume content that may seem very innocent to us, not innocent through the wrong eyes, and so it's really disturbing. But yeah, that's my topic. I mean, and it branches out too, because again, we can make an argument of should they be on social media? That's out of our hands at this point. Yeah, I agree. You can't stop kids from being on social media, but it's at least for the family vloggers. I do not like the family. And again, I like consuming the content. I don't like the idea though of the reality of the situation with the family vloggers. And I think there needs to be regulations, and I'm so happy that they're starting to be movement. But again, the internet is growing at an exponential rate. It is so fast. By the time we catch up with one thing, it is already 10 more things ahead of us, and so we need to protect our children, and that's in so many different categories and topics, but that's what it comes down to, protecting our children.
For me, it kind of falls, that's why I say it falls back on the parent, because whether you're exploiting them online or exploiting them in person, the whole pageant era and beauty contests and things like that can be interpreted as that as well. I feel like there's a lot of ways that people exploit their children, whether it be knowingly or unknowingly, because some of them are doing it unknowingly. But I just think ignorance and uneducation is a big part of it.
Yeah,
whether it be online or offline.
Jonesy, can you let me know, did we hit our likes goal?
Yes, because there's a very special something if you did. If you haven't yet, already hit the thumbs up. If you're watching on the replay too, please hit the thumbs up, but also leave your comments below regarding every topic. We want to hear everyone's thoughts regarding it, because it's a topic I feel like everyone has a strong opinion on, all three topics, but not everyone always agrees. But it's when we talk to one another and share our thoughts that at least for me, I'm like, you know what? I didn't see it like that. And I really like hearing people's feedback.
Okay.
I can only get the heart. We have 7 more likes. Come on, 7 more.
Shout out to Indy, because she now taught me how to use the thing. Okay, so she have to put it by your chest.
But my thumb matches my chest. They're not going to see it.
Well, I mean, maybe you have to have color. Then 2 thumbs up is look. It's the fireworks.
Oh, I got a thumbs up.
I don't have a thumbs up, but I have a back scratcher, so we could act like that's a thumb.
Yeah. And then the heart. Figure out what other ones it does. I love that.
4 more. 2 more. 2 more.
2 more. 1, 2. Everyone hit that thumbs up.
As well.
There we go.
Yeah, hit the dislike if
2
you prefer.
thumbs up.
With that.
I want a heart. I don't have a heart. Nothing.
I like the fireworks. That's cool.
She said, "I love this. Really made me think about my points of view and some takeaways I will think about." Good.
Tater
Okay.
said we're at 200.
Woo, we did it.
Here we go. Okay, so here we go. So this is what we're doing. We're making all of the hosts, Real Housewives of YouTube, and we're making them come up with we're giving them a glamour shot, and we're making them come up with taglines.
Mine doesn't
So
look like me.
we'll play. That's what Dietz was claiming. Doesn't
The
look
Real
like her.
Housewives of YouTube.
The Real Housewives of YouTube. Even though some of us are not wives, but that's okay. They're the Real Housewives of YouTube, okay?
A lot of
Just
the
for the sake of
housewives
these
aren't
videos.
wives.
Yeah, a lot of the housewives are just hoes.
True. Yeah, basketball wives aren't all basketball
Prostitution
wives either.
whore.
Good point. Good point. All right, so here you go.
I'm Jonesin, and some say I'm a snake. But honey, I just prefer to move silently and strike with receipts.
I love that.
That is cute.
It's so perfect.
Yes. Thank you so much for hitting the like. We appreciate all of you being here, having conversations with us. We hope you enjoyed the different topics and how it kind of led into each other, but didn't really. But we definitely do appreciate it. If you are on the replay crew, please, please, please tell us you made it. We'd be happy to be able to, give you a little heart when you put your comment on there. Our next stream is going to be on Friday, and I just realized that those hosts have not turned in their topics yet.
Tisk.
So it's going to be time for a meeting with the hosts. You know what I mean?
And we'll leave links in the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Most of the hosts on Friday are my friends, so I feel like they may be taking advantage of me, but it's all good.
Advantage for sure. We came prepared. This thing.
Oh, Tracy said she turned hers in.
She did turn it. Oh, did she? She must have turned it in during the stream. Maybe I'll look at it. That's okay.
Slacking.
We'll put all the links in the description as well. So if you want to fully explore the videos and the articles that we use for this, you can.
So next week's, not next week. Sorry, Friday's stream is from 7 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. Figure out your own time zone. Thank you. And those hosts will be Jonesin. Woo, woo. Woo, woo. Woo. And Allie, aka Alex Erickson.
It's going to be a great episode.
You got to make more of a heart.
Is it not hard enough? What's happening? There we go.
Is it not hard enough?
Okay.
You arch it, girl.
Heart.
Arch it.
Heart.
Heart enough?
Heart.
I wonder if it works like that. No. I don't know how they do that. Morgan does a weird heart nowadays.
Nope.
Like this.
Mine's a heartbreak.
But my nails get in the way.
Yeah.
Scissors. Whatever. What's happening right now?
I want to do the fireworks on my phone.
Well, JP, I don't know what the topics are because
they weren't submitted
in their topics.
Let me see if I can give you a sneak peek of
supposed
one
to be in yesterday. Just saying.
Let me see.
And this is such
but Chasing
variety of very intelligent, very awesome hosts. Everyone's bringing such different topics. So it's going to be, every episode's going to bring something new, and it's going to be a really interesting intellectual conversation. And I really look forward to it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't see her topic.
Chasing did say her topic is going to be kids charged as adults in different cases. That's hers, and I think that's a really good one. I'm very interested. We are, Carrie. Don't judge us. However, I did want to announce, I haven't responded to the email yet, but one of the guys who I talked mess about on our intro stream has responded. And he did. Did you text him?
No.
Yes, you did. No wonder why he answered. I got all excited for nothing. Dang it.
No, Rambo, we won't have any drinking friends over here or streams over here. You don't have to remind me to drink my water.
Yeah, you gotta go to Jones and streams for those ones. So I am excited. And then in April, we actually had 4 people who reached out and who are interested in becoming hosts. So now we are at 4 new people to
That's
potentially
amazing.
and talk to you guys. And some of them I've never even heard their voice before. So I'm excited to get to know new people and hear people have, really good topics that are just different but the same,
Yeah. This is
So-
going to
we
be
do.
great.
We also want chat suggestions for streams. That would be good.
Yeah, definitely. It again on the replay or right now, please, 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 if you have ideas for topics or hot topics, go ahead and throw them in the chat because I am watching the comments of the streams. I am watching the comments from the replays. And so I have been taking those and putting it over where the hosts are so that they're able to see that.
Right, Jacob? They're gonna get a bunch of controversy, but it wasn't him. That's not who she was talking about. I don't think.
No,
Anyway.
it's not the glare. Glare. No, she.
And don't forget to pray for our military or send positive vibes, thoughts, whatever you send towards them. Keep sending them.
Nanya, were you always pink? Was your background always?
It's because the sun is going down.
But wasn't it like beige?
No, it was daylight.
It was because
more daylight.
sun. It was the daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the daylight.
It went from beige to like fuchsia. Oh, the lights. Okay. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what your sunlight does. Mine does not make that drastic of a difference. That makes sense. Okay.
No. It's only because the sun has gone down, so the wall is showing more of the pink. That's all.
I love it.
Yeah.
I can't believe there's still daylight there. It's been dark since we started.
Sorry,
it's been dark
opposite
here.
West Coast. Okay, there was one thing, man. Oh, shout out to our graphics designer. Our graphics designer has been doing the dang thing, and she all weekend long. That's why you don't see her as much right now, because all weekend long she's been making outros, intros, videos, thumbnails, any and everything she can make. She's been making it for me. So
killing it.
Shout out to Jonesin. Everybody give a whoop whoop in the chat because these are her. So we appreciate it. She gets the fireworks.
Maybe. Oh, there it is.
What is that thing?
What is that?
It's me, but it's like when I pull away. See?
Yeah, you're the firework.
It's like you gotta stay in the middle of the camera, I guess.
Because baby, you're a firework.
Because baby, I'm a firework. Okay. Anywho, all right, we're done. That's it. It's over.
The outro plays automatically.
We went over 2 hours. Yes, end it, and it should play automatically. If not,
all right. Bye, guys. See you next time.
Bye, guys. Have a good night. See you Friday.
Bye.
Thanks for the conversation and for keeping it respectful. Oh, and shout out to the replay crew. See you next time.
Hard days you stayed, pulled up, listen, organ clean, kept distance. You could have dipped, you chose to build. We kept it sharp, but we kept it chill. No cheap shots, just real views. Iron on iron, still cool. So thank you for being here. Thank you for talking clear.